talk to CXOs and different tech leaders, sales leaders. But I have customized this talk for the audience today, which are all of us as far as the project management is concerned. So let us begin the talk. I would request Ketan to kindly share the link for the survey with everyone. Let us take 2 minutes and fill up this survey. There are interesting questions and there would be interesting outcome as well. So you will get to see the result.
I've already shared, but right now again, let me put it again so that
Please do that.
Yes.
Please do that. So that would help people to.
Yeah, I have already put that link. I hope everyone is able to click on that and go to that page.
Yeah, so we have got 3 responses until now.
Okay.
So people have started filling in. So we'll wait for another 2 minutes. It's very easy, multiple choice question. It doesn't take much of time.
Correct. Yeah, we'll wait for another 2 minutes.
I request everyone to kindly go through the survey. There are around 10 questions. The interesting ones, it would generate interesting insights when we look at the result. So in next 1 or 1.5 minutes, we would be looking at the survey result, and that would give you a fair idea that what you are thinking, what our peers, our friends, our colleagues, friends are thinking. So yes, we have got 11 responses now, 12 responses. Please hurry up, 1 minute to go. Vital Parab is asking where is the link for the survey. Ketan, if you can just share once again.
Sure, I'll do that.
Seems to be some challenge, sure. I'm not sure. So please let us know. So 18 responses. Please let us know in case if you are not having the link for the survey. 19 responses. Please fill up fast. 23 responses. Please fill up fast.
Yeah, we have approximately 60 participants right now.
Right. So we thought that, okay, fine, let us wait until almost half of them fill up. Then it would be an interesting data mix.
Correct.
We are already at 23. Kindly hurry up and fill up the survey using your mobile, your laptop, wherever you are. It is a Google form. Just click on the Google form and you will get to see the question. Just click on the option of your choice and submit the form. This form does not collect any personal information, so that at least please feel free to fill it up. We are not capturing your email, your name or anything. So you can feel free.
Mr. Pramod, sorry Chintan, Mr. Pramod is saying that I can see the link, but it's not going anywhere. I think you can also copy and put it in your browser directly if there is a problem from going here, because we have tested the link and I think number of people are also right now using that, means that link is proper and it's working. So I think you can use your alternate methods to get to that. Very good. Mr. Vinay Patil is saying nice question, especially retire one. So feedback already coming on your question.
Okay, great. So we are at 28. We'll wait for another two submissions, and then I would share the results so that at least we don't spend more time in filling up the surveys, because we have got a lot of content to cover today.
Vaishali Sakakar, not able to click.
Okay, so now let me
Done.
share the results. Sorry. Yes, Bharat, you were
Yes,
mentioning
done.
something?
But one thing I
But
just want, I may be wrong. Once I submitted this thing, it should come back to this screen, our main screen now. I think I have to restart the connection. So I don't, is
No,
it
you are
right?
not required to restart the connection.
Okay, okay, okay,
Anyway, so
okay.
now let me
Okay, I have done it.
share the
And I'll
result.
come back to the main screen which you are presenting. Okay.
yes, yes,
Let
this
me,
is correct.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Yeah.
sure. So now let me stop sharing and share once again so that I'll be able to pick up the survey results. So here we are, 35 responses. What is the age group mix we have? 37 responses. We have got people below 20, almost 10%, 32% are 51 to 60, 29%, almost 30% again are in the 41 to 50 range. The next one, are you concerned and curious about future of jobs? So 95% are concerned or curious. Has your job been disrupted? 23% are not sure whether their job is disrupted or not. They feel that yes, maybe it may be disrupted, but not sure. How fast do you think your job could be disrupted? So this is an interesting insight. And someone says how many? 5% says no disruption foreseen, and another 20% says that it is still 5 years away. So that is interesting. 30% feel that yes, it is already disrupted, and around 23% say around next 2 to 3 years, yes, it would get disrupted. What has or may disrupt your job? This is interesting insight. Everyone has answered in a different way, but however, 25% feel that yes, global industry trends, 30% feel that all of above. People, interesting insight, 15% say none of above. So there may be some reason which is not listed here. Okay, we are still getting the responses. Did you refresh or enhance your skills during the lockdown? 86% said yes, we learned something and then we improved our skill set. While 15% were okay, I mean, fine, we're busy doing something. So another insight, who is primarily responsible for your skill upgrade?
અરે ઓલો 230939 કોણ છે?
We
Hello.
cannot identify. We
ભરત
cannot
બોલો છો?
identify.
Hello.
Yes, Bharat bhai. Okay, so 90% feel that yes, they themselves are responsible for upgrading their skill, while 7% says it is everyone's responsibility to upgrade my skill set. So that includes my employer, my reporting manager, and myself. While there is some intelligent guy, he says it's none of above. So it is not my responsibility, nor it is my team manager's responsibility. It is not my employer's responsibility. Maybe someone else would be responsible for upgrade of his skill. Due to disruption in your current industry domain, do you intend to diversify into another industry domain? It's an interesting mix. 70% says yes. Probably शायद मैं रिटेल में से मैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जाऊं और सॉफ्टवेयर में से मैं कंसल्टिंग में चला जाऊं. So this is the question and this is the context. So 20% says I don't think that I would change, but then 70% feel that yes, I would change my industry domain. This is lovely. How often do you undergo a training? आप ट्रेनिंग कब लेते हैं? साल में एक बार, 6 महीने में एक बार, एवरी क्वार्टर, हर महीने, और एड होक. तो 41% सेस एड होक कभी भी लेते हैं, मन पड़ता है तब लेते हैं, बाकी अदरवाइज वी डोंट हैव ए आई ऑन आवर ट्रेनिंग रिक्वायरमेंट्स. आई मीन our need for reskilling is ad hoc. So this is something interesting insight. Another interesting insights. Who requested training for you? And 3 people says it is my reporting manager who requested training. Otherwise, I do not initiate it. And 93% says I initiated. So this is something good. Next insight. How do you gain knowledge in your self-study mode? So when you try to gain knowledge yourself, then what is it that you do? So 69% says we prefer online training. 23% says YouTube video. हम लोग YouTube का video देख लेते हैं, what is agile project management, and then we get what we want. And 7% says we read a book. And classroom training, look at the composition. None has voted for a classroom training. People prefer online training. People prefer to read book. People prefer to watch videos on YouTube, but they are avoiding classroom trainings. Have you updated your resume recently? So it's interesting insight. I mean, because if you are planning to change job, if you are concerned about future of your job, then you would obviously gear up and equip yourself with a new resume. But here it is again a different mix, 50-50. Do you like work from home? So 73% says yes, 74% says yes, and 26% says no, we don't like it. And last but not the least, when do you plan to retire? So it's an interesting mix. Almost everyone is saying, 60 to 65. So these are the insights, and that is where I hope you guys enjoyed it. In case if required, feel free to give me an email. I would be happy to share these results of today's survey for your information and knowledge. I would be cutting a PDF of these charts and sharing. I don't think that the Excel sheet would help you, but in case if you need it, feel free to approach me and I'll be happy to share. So if you are planning to do some analytics on this, then you can. So anyway, let me go back to the presentation now. Let me know when you are able to view my screen.
Yeah, we are able to see your screen. Let's keep
Okay,
reading.
great. Okay, great. So Y2K was the last known technology disruption in our memories. So when the Y2K bug struck, and then we feared that world may collapse, and nothing happened, and we smoothly transitioned from 1999 to 2000. So this was the time when everyone was concerned, and then it all started in around 94, 95, and the Y2K became a big business. People used to migrate to US because they knew COBOL. And in fact, if you look at the right side of the slide, people also minted money by preparing, developing, and selling Y2K personal survival kit, and these such kits were available for 300 to 500 US dollars. So these are something, I mean, technology disruption, which is in our memory. And now let us move on. So let us fast forward to 2013, and one of the surveys said that according to a survey conducted in 2030, a research report by Oxford academicians, 47% of workers in America have jobs which can be automated, and they are on verge of losing their job. So this was way back in 2013, and now we are in 2021. So I have also included the link, and which you can view it at time of your choice. One of the research reports conducted by Dell Technologies said that 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been invented yet. So this is something interesting fact that how are we moving, how the world is moving, in what direction. If 85% of the jobs that would exist in 2030, we are in 2021, haven't been invented yet. This is a 2-year-old report, I guess. But then again, before Corona and after Corona, a lot of things have changed, a lot of things have been accelerated. Another research report by an Australian research firm, it says 65% of the kids in preschool today would be employed in a job that does not exist today. So we live in a world where everyone is trying to learn technology. We live in a world where doctors are learning programming, finance professionals are learning programming, management professionals are also learning programming, and that is where our earlier thought that only engineers use technology has changed. Our reliance, our dependence on technology is growing day by day. What has happened is earlier, maybe just a decade ago, if someone said, I read a news that someone's face was, uh, he had a face transplant. And then people will say, chal, fake mat. It's not possible. It cannot be done. But right now, our trust on technology has grown so that we are easily able to digest कि हाँ शायद हो सकता है. Technology is taking center stage everywhere, and maybe certain new things can happen. So our trust on technology is growing, our reliance, our dependence on technology is growing day by day. Let us have a look at these job titles. These jobs did not exist just a decade ago. Android was invented and was introduced to the world in 2008, 2009. So Android developers came in 2011. So as iOS developers, they opened their ecosystem for developers in 2011. No one knew who is Zumba instructor just a decade ago. Social media manager. No one thought that you would be hiring people to manage your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. Data scientists, because internet wasn't capable of capturing that much of data. We were using pen drives, we were using different types of methodologies to transfer files. I'm sure only half of us would have transferred video or movies using Bluetooth. So this is the way we have moved, we have advanced towards technology. UI UX designer, they did not exist a decade ago. Big data architect, no one heard of it. I mean, big data was a distant dream, and then having an architect, a solution architect for big data, that was something which wasn't known to the world. Beach body coach. So this is something which is a new profession which mixes sports medicine, then fashion, and then wellness and all this thing, and then they become a beach body coach. So this is something, a new profession altogether. Cloud service specialist. No one heard of AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. So there was no question of having a cloud services specialist. Digital marketing managers, YouTubers. YouTube wasn't so popular that people could make money by becoming a YouTuber. And right now, if you see, probably you would be able to pinpoint that yes, I know a YouTuber and he is earning a decent, handsome money every month by creating videos. Probably many housewives are earning right now by creating videos of their recipes की चलिए मैं आपको बताती हूँ how to make paneer tikka masala, and then people are watching, and these creators are getting paid. Uber driver and Airbnb partner. I mean, Uber came in 2012. No one knew that what Uber driver meant. Is that wasn't possible? We never thought that probably some service, some app can come and disrupt the way we move around the city and beyond. Airbnb partner, probably yes, we had those concept of paying guests, but no one thought that yes, I can rent out one extra room and then earn money from it. So these are the kind of jobs which did not exist. Now let me, sorry, yes, how do I put this off? Ah, so how does future of jobs look like? Please understand there is a technical difference between future of work and future of job. It is the same as macroeconomics and microeconomics. Okay, so future of jobs is at a larger scale where you are talking about the jobs. Future of work is more personal, the way you work. The keywords in future of work are efficiency, productivity, and all. But in future of jobs, it is at a higher scale wherein you are discussing about various types of professions. Now let us understand how the future of jobs would look like. So due to recent rise in automation, algorithms, intelligence, ongoing pandemic, 85 million jobs have been lost globally. But by 2025, 97 million new roles are coming up. So it means that around 6% of the workforce is likely to get replaced. People with new skill will come in, people will with the old skill will get reskilled. One out of two workers, so almost 50% of workforce would be needing reskilling. And what amount of reskilling would be required? The reskilling amount would be in tune of 40%. A refresh of 40% of the skill set would be required for the retained workforce. There would be a huge gap in demand and supply, which would lead to unemployable workforce. By 2025, 70% of the workforce to learn new skills to take on jobs of the future. I'm sure many of us are hearing that, one of our friend finished a certification on AWS, other one is pursuing certification on data analytics, third guy is preparing for some other certification, and that is how people have started learning new things. I'm sure you are also catching up and not leaving yourself behind. The transition of this newly skilled workforce, so from a reskilled workforce to a new job, the time period would be around 6 weeks. So transition to the new role would require a minimum time period of 6 weeks. So before you formally become, a cloud project manager, it could be around 6 weeks for you to study and then transition to the new role. Government, industry, and academia are jointly collaborating and then introducing new modules. Like NASCOM has introduced various courses on AI. Our PMI has also introduced various courses on the new next generation technology and the new way of project management, be it micro certifications, be it online courses, be it on-demand webinars. You've got multiple choice to ensure that you refresh and enhance your skills. This was the time. Now let us move on to a year ago when COVID struck us. No one, none of us were prepared. No one ever thought that world could come to a standstill. No one could imagine that 80% of the global GDP could come to a standstill. No one ever thought that all the airports would be shut down. No one ever thought that trains would be shut down. So this was an unprecedented situation. But we had our own way of uh, tackling the situation. If we are looking at this picture is from Nagpur, wherein COVID warrior, heads up to these guys who were like, I mean, trying to convince various people who are trying to violate the lockdown guidelines in their own way. If you look at this guy, he's trying to educate this violator to, stay home and be safe. We also, when the pandemic struck, we started working from anywhere. We were like, I mean, earlier we were not, except people who are in telecom or technology companies, not all of us were equipped to work from anywhere. I mean, think of people in manufacturing, think of people in civil. We never worked from home actually, but now the entire life changed and then we started working from home. All our office systems were extended, and then that is how probably there was a glitch of around 2 to 3 weeks, but within a month after the after the first Janta curfew, probably everyone started working in second half of April. There was a cultural shift as well. We started, avoiding to shake hands. Many of us did namaste. Youngsters also started greeting each other with new styles. So the pandemic has also started changing our lifestyle. And then afterwards, we also had our share of political inspiration. I mean, inspiration by our political leaders. And then we said, आपदा को अवसर में बदलना है. हमें बचना भी है और बचाना भी है. So that is how the world moved on. And then again, we had our Mumbaikars, we had our own share of lockdown celebration. We had lot of YouTube recipes and we had lot of new dishes. And probably the lockdown economy was booming by then. And then we had this look at the picture of Corona fighter Khakra. Then we had it did not stop at Khakra. It went on to, immunity boosting veggie pizza and then probably immunity boosting mukhwas as well. So this is the way we started indigenizing the scenario, and then probably the economy also changed a bit. If we look at this is not so that is where these are not the poster, these are actual advertisements. I have just captured them as is. If you look at Amul or Mother's Dairy or Vimal, all of them, like Chyawanprash ice cream, Dairy Den, Dairy Day. There is a company called Dairy Day, and they launched Chyawanprash ice cream, Haldi Doodh ice cream, Ginger Doodh was available, immunity booster kulfi and cup were available. So we were like really Indianizing and then trying to overcome the situation in our own way. The world did not stop here. We had immunity booster pani puri as well, immunity booster chart as well. It did not stop here. Then if you look at the big fat Indian weddings, then ladki wale and ladke wale masks were also available. So this is how the entire transition was happening. I'm just trying to recap the last year and what kind of good work we did and what kind of cultural shift we went to. But then eventually we overcome the lockdown phases and now adapted as the new normal. We have accepted that yes, Corona is going to stay around, and then our work, our life, our social life continues. So as our job and progress. We are now in vaccination phase, and all of us are waiting for our turn to get vaccinated. Now is the time to have a big salute to our Corona warriors, just to support their contribution. Definitely, apart from these frontline warriors, it is all of us. So we must pat our back because all of us also worked and made sure that none of our projects were put on hold and ev- every work in every company continued. So let us pat our back and say, yes, you did a good job. So now, BC to AC era, before Corona and after Corona. So the discussion continues and life goes on. But in the meanwhile, what has been disrupted? Three things have been disrupted: work, worker, and workplace. The way we used to work has been disrupted drastically. Our job roles have been disrupted because the organization, many of the organizations have had a digital leap in this last 1 year. The entire industry, our workplace has changed. The industry environment has changed. A lot of people have lost the job. A lot of people who have been able to reskill themselves have also got a new job, next assignment. Now let us see what happens. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella on 30th April, as and when the first wave of Corona was about to begin, he made this statement, and this is on their website, that we have seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months. And this was in April 30. Please understand, we were at the beginning of the Corona spike, the Corona wave. And this was the statement that because of this hybrid mode of working, we have seen 2 years worth of digital transformation just in 2 months' time. So just imagine, I'm trying to help you visualize the pace at which the world is moving, the pace at which things around us are changing. So I would request you to please recognize the pace of progress and then act accordingly. The digital transformation continued at a higher pace around us in 2020. But how do you make sure that are we on the right track? What are the things? What are the imperatives we must follow? So let us look at a couple of them. So this is a slide which indicates the top technology trends in 2021. I'm sure all of us know that the consulting company Gartner, they publish top technology trends every year, and this year these are the technology trends they have published. These are three uh, major categories of technology trends like people centricity, location independence, and resilient delivery. And if you look at these trends, Internet of Behavior. So as and when the convergence of IoT with AI uh, takes place, then there is a lot of new use cases emerge, and that is where new type of technology trends, which does not have any technology name, are emerging now. Because the rise of technology has reached such a level that now technologies have started merging. Earlier, it wasn't so. So end-to-end total experience. Earlier we were not discussing UI, UX, but now we have started discussing that what is the user experience, and then that is where we are moving. Distributed cloud, hybrid cloud, these are being talked about in our organization. Anywhere operations, cyber security mesh, AI engineering, hyper automation. So these are the trends, and then at the backdrop of combinatorial innovation. So innovation is also taking a center stage in various enterprises. Beyond these top 10 trends, there are other 10 trends I have listed like 3D and 4D printing, virtual assistants. Now I need not explain you. Almost all of us are using virtual assistant. It is available in your phone. Can just set an alarm by saying that, hey Google or okay Google, remind me to do this at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then you will get a pop-up. We are almost every one of us are having a wearable, a smartwatch or a health band, and then if not, then we at least know that yes, uh, I mean, what kind of smart wearables are available in the market. Many of us are having Alexa and Google Home in our home, and then we are also having experience of AI-enabled hyper personalization. When you browse Amazon or Netflix or even Google or YouTube, you would have seen that based on your first search, the AI recommender engine starts queuing up the relevant products for you. So if you are trying to buy a cricket bat, then they will tell you that okay, fine. People who bought cricket bat also purchase ball or stumps along with it, and that is how they will try to enhance the value of their business. And they will try to show you the relevant searches which would be of their interest. If you are trying to watch an action movie and you are searching something on Netflix, then automatically the experience would be customized for you, and then you would be seeing more and more action movies in your search listing. Ethics, this has become a major issue because the rise of AI and the algorithm needs to be monitored, and there has to be some ethical policy around it to make sure that we don't program invisible biases in the system. So if all of us are having some or other bias, and we plan and program our AI with such biases, then probably it would be really disastrous when machine starts having a bias and then they start operating with bias. Microeconomy, learning to lending, a lot of microeconomy things are going on. Robots and cobots. Cobots is a term where human and robots work together. So we are already having a couple of manufacturing facilities around Pune wherein robots and humans are working together, and then they are manufacturing cars. Nanotechnology, all of us know Viro kill, ये safe है, ये laminate safe है. I mean, a pregnant lady tries to touch a what you call cradle, and then she's afraid that शायद इसमें uh, germ रहेगा तो, but then the husband says you can touch it, it's safe. So the nanotechnology is coming near us, and then we would be seeing a lot of nanotechnology enabled products around us. Governance and policy, a lot of automation is going on, and mind it that government is one of the top adopters of technology. If you think of any of our large corporations, they are having a fat order book from government. Government is adopting technology at scale. And last but not the least, everything as a service. So you think of AI as a service, you think blockchain as a service, you think user experience as a service, anything is being offered as a service now. Other trends in focus, in the interest of time, we would just move quickly. Mixed economy recovery, these are the terms which we would be hearing in this year. Work from anywhere, enhanced productivity, reskilling of workforce, virtual celebrations, right from wedding. I mean, I'm sure all of us have attended at least one birthday party or a wedding in last 1 year, which was on Zoom or Google Meet or any other such platform. You also made, I mean, the education also continued virtually. Continued focus on health and wellness. Almost all of us had got our share of kata and our share of yogasan and extra exercises. OTT platforms have become our new cinemas. I mean, almost when there was a survey, almost 65% of the people said that they are not likely to go back to cinemas because of health concerns. And last but not the least, vaccine diplomacy. There will be a lot of money which will be flowing in the healthcare ecosystem. People would be expanding healthcare companies, pharma companies would be expanding, and thus there would be a lot more new opportunities for people who are project managers. So how the workplace has changed around us in terms of time. We have moved from a fixed time culture to a flexible time culture. People are working from home and then they are contributing as per flexible time because people are not required to commute, and that is where definitely there is a good and bad side as well. But these are the trends around us. Work has changed from our performance has changed, performance monitoring has changed, measurement has changed from KRA driven to outcome driven culture. Organization has changed from hierarchical to a matrix or a flat culture architecture. Collaboration from we used to have email, and though we were in office, the primary mode of communication and working was email and calls. But from there, we have now moved on to video and social media tools as well. We work using Slack, we use Skype for business, for me conducting business meetings, and that is how the world around us has changed. The device we used to have access of various office systems on our laptop. Now we are getting access to any device, be it our laptop, be it our tablet or mobile. We are able to work from any device. Learning and development, earlier it was a planned intervention, and now the entire learning has become a continuous learning effort. The culture within the employee workforce has also changed. Earlier, the culture was competition. Now, most of us has realized that by competing, only one of us can succeed. But if we collaborate, all of us can succeed. Assignment from permanent to Uberize. So earlier, there were a lot of jobs which were permanent. Now, the Uberize work culture is on rise, and then project-based engagement and recruitments are being undertaken. Well-being, earlier there was no focus on well-being. Employee well-being was not at all a focus of the employer, or it was not part of most of the companies. But now employee well-being is being focused, and then employees are also being offered wellness incentives. Like many of the companies have started reimbursing gym fees for their employees, and that is how the focus or the stress on well-being and wellness is being given around us. What will be the workforce in near future when we are talking about 2021, then 2022 also, because having a bigger view of 2025 or 2030 is not possible, and that is where I would like to draw your attention for the workforce mix in 2022. Three key points by a research report which was published by Fickey and Ernst and Young. 9% of the workforce would be deployed in new jobs that does not exist today. So 9% of the workforce is being deployed in new jobs. 37 of the percent of the workforce would be deployed in jobs that have radically changed their skill set, and 54% of the workforce will fall under unchanged job category. So now you have to decide whether you want to be in 54% or you want to be in 46%. So let us move on. What are the enterprise imperatives? What our employers are thinking, how the industry is changing, and what are the factors which are driving future of jobs in 2021 and beyond. So technology is taking the center stage at the enterprise, and then give me a moment. And technology has become a sole success factor of the organization. If you are technologically advanced, then you are a bigger player in the market. Forget the size, but the speed matters. And if you want to achieve speed, then technology is the sole enabler which can help you succeed. But as a project manager, or as an enterprise owner, or as a functional leader or a business leader, do we have a roadmap of technology? Are we thinking how are we planning to expand and advance our technology? I'm sure that not many of us are thinking that if we are part of a project team, if we are part of a PMO, then what kind of tools we are using right now, and what tools or feature requirements we would have in near future. So this is a food for thought for all of us. That give it to thought that can we have a roadmap for our respective functions? Work from anywhere. Now the work culture has changed. Right now, when we speak, many of the cities in Maharashtra and other states of the country are having a lockdown today. So whatever we undertake, we must be cognizant about the hybrid work culture and then dimension our project timelines, our project schedules, so that at least we are able to work with the hybrid model of work, so that we are able to focus on the success of our projects. Cloud has become a necessity. Earlier, cloud was luxury. Now, because of the hybrid work model, cloud has become a necessity. Data driven execution. Earlier, we were not having a lot of data which was available. Now, because of the enterprise environments have changed, and then we are having a lot of compute power to analyze the data. We are having cloud compute storages to store this data and then generate a insight out of this data. So that is where data driven execution is imperative. All of us should be and must be stressing upon, and then we as a project managers must think and facilitate that how do we take informed decisions to enhance our profits and customer delight. Because if we are not focused on profit and customer delight, then probably the chances of success are very less. And the next imperative or focus for all of us should be that how do we minimize the gap between strategy and execution? There is a lot of gap right now. All of us, if we see our project schedules and our strategies, our business requirements, then there is a lot of things which probably give us a tough time when we get into the execution mode. And that is where, if we are able to minimize the gap between the strategy and execution, then our success ratio would further increase. Customer retention. Now, please note that I am not talking about our external customer, but this is also applicable to our internal customers as well. People, our stakeholders. So, how do we swiftly serve our customers, be it internal or external? How do we generate analytics and insights on the go? At times, you may get a call from your head of marketing stating that, I need to understand what kind of trend or sales trend we have for in our North India market. What kind of business is being generated by our campaigns on Facebook, or maybe some other query from any of the leadership. So how do we meet the requirements of our customers, our stakeholders? Cybersecurity. All of us need to be cognizant and cautious about cybersecurity. Because of rise of hybrid work model, lot of project related data is floating around, and then that is where we all must ensure that right data is shared to the right user. Prevention of data leakage has to be exercised. We must make sure that we should prevent any kind of data leakage. We should also, because most of us are dealing with various types of customer related data, we must ensure that because of our negligence, our data or customer information should not leak to a unauthorized user, and then no privacy or contractual violation happens around us. Another imperative or another stress we focus area all of us must have is how do we retain organizational process and knowledges when we are trying to automate things, when we are trying to adopt cloud compute at scale. Then how is it possible that we can to retain the organization knowledge, because as and when people move out of the organization, people used to offer work using various Excel sheets, and then the process were dependent on people and they were not independently running processes. So as a project manager, challenge for us, because as we saw in a couple of slides earlier that around 54% of the workforce would be retained and 46% of the workforce is likely to get replaced. So in a given scenario, we as a project manager have got a responsibility, focus area to prevent the organizational processes and knowledge which can be used in our future projects. Robotic process automation, how do we introduce various chatbots, various process bots to manage our workflows better? Is it possible to introduce a chatbot in our PMO? One must think. Is it possible for us to develop a chatbot wherein the relevant user can just talk with the chatbot and then his status update can be captured, and the timeline, the timesheet, the tracker can be updated automatically? Is it possible that we introduce some kind of automation which can help us connect various legacy systems and expedite our output rather than juggling between multiple Excel sheets? Is it something that any RPA tool can be put to use and then we can save some time, enhance our accuracy, and then reduce the dependency on the people? We all as a project manager must think. All of us are thinking Industry 4.0, and then many of us who are forward thinking leaders in manufacturing are also talking about Industry 5.0 now. But are we geared up to ride the wave of Industry 4.0? So, how do we as a project manager create and maintain a competitive advantage? We all must learn more and more about Industry 4.0 and enhance our knowledge, refresh our skills to take on new roles, higher responsibilities. Adoption of AI, everyone, all enterprise, all businesses are talking about adopting AI. So, how do we adopt world class practices and knowledge? Earlier was a time, just a decade ago, when it was said that project manager need not be a subject matter expert. So you were required to be a civil engineer. If you are in airport industry and constructing airport, then you can be an expert in civil engineering. You need not learn about aviation industry. But now the scenario has changed. You need to learn about various technologies. You as a project manager, you command a lot of respect within the organization. The organization also expects you to add value by sharing your opinion and helping them to arrive at a right and better decision. So that is where, how do we adopt world-class practices and knowledge? All of us must learn artificial intelligence. How do we have a digital edge over competition? Think of two people. One is not learning anything. He just goes to office with the tiffin box in his hand and then returns in the evening and then probably does some relaxation activities and cultural activities. But he's not at all focused on his technology in his industry. He's not reading or trying to upgrade his skill. Then probably he would be left behind. He will find it difficult to survive. He will have a lot of mental pressure. So we still have some time to escape that scenario and then gear up to meet new challenges. How do we make sure that our technology foundation of our enterprise, our organization, our PMO, our project is ready to adapt and work with new technologies in future? If you have not mastered, but if you are aware, then you would be able to participate in the discussion. If you are not at all aware, then probably you would be alienated in the discussion. So that is where it becomes indeed important for all of us to make sure that we create a edge over our competition by advancing in various, technologies, knowledge of various technologies. How do we future proof our career? How do we future proof our business? How do we have seamless integration and migration with our legacy systems and reduce total cost of ownership? How do we advance our PMO from on in terms of maturity model also? How do we have different cloud-based tools, project management tools introduced in our PMO? How do we future-proof our career by learning new things which would be in demand in project management in near future? Customer is king. How do we improvise the customer journey and experience of our customers, be it internal stakeholders even? Gone are the days when people used to say, why don't you drop me an email and then I'll get back to you? People do not welcome such kind of conversations anymore. How do we offer a self-service, true zero-touch experience to our customer, wherein they don't depend on project manager that, okay, fine, every fortnight you would be releasing a detailed report and then people will be able to get insights after the fortnight is over. They want all the information at their fingertips. How do you make sure that you are able to share near real-time data so that our stakeholders are able to browse it, they are able to play with the data and then help enhance the success ratio for the project? Reskill and upskill. How do we make sure that we and our teams, our colleagues, our enterprise have got learning and development as a continuous process? It is now is the time that none of us can afford to have a ad hoc learning and development interventions. The learning and development has to be a continuous cycle. We all must have our, unlike our KRS, we must have our learning plan. We must, because if we are managing projects for our employers, we are managing projects for our customers, then we as a project manager, we as an individual must undertake a upgrade project for ourselves. It would be a time bound initiative wherein you would be working for yourself. Every week you must invest couple of hours which has been set by you for advancement of your skill set. Resilience versus innovation. At times we are talking about bouncing back from the pandemic, and at times we are also talking about innovating new things. So we as a project manager must have an eye. We must be enhancing our skill set, our collaboration skills, our problem solving skills, our creative skills, so that we are able to participate in efforts as far as the resilience is concerned and as far as the innovation is concerned. Is it in fact even, is it possible to introduce a Excel macro? So innovation need not be something drastic innovation. Start appreciating even a smallest innovation within the team, and that is how you will be able to develop an innovation culture in your team. We as a project manager must learn how to cultivate and promote culture of innovation in our team. Smart factory to smart farms, everywhere sensors are taking over, a lot of sensors are being used everywhere. So that is where we all must also learn. This is the time we must learn about various jargons of IoT and then understand that in a given business scenario or challenge, is there any technology solution which can help us and our customers? So in the interest of time, let me just skip this. And then here we are at our break right now. It is 6 minutes past 11, and we have covered what has been disrupted. After the break, I will be covering what are the new jobs which are on the horizon, and then we would have a forward path. Definitely after these 3 points are over, we would also have a Q&A session. So I would pause my talk here and over to you, Ketan.
Thanks, Chintan Bhai, for that wonderful session. And I don't feel like giving a break because it's going so well. I thought we'll lose the interest, but let's take a break of 10 minutes. As you rightly said, it's 11:06, so we'll reconvene in 11:16. But before you guys go away for a break, let me, there are a couple of announcements. So for the first announcement, I'll invite our VP Outreach, Miss Priya Patra. She wants to make some announcements which is useful to all of us. So I'm inviting Priya Patra for this. Priya, stage is yours for the announcement. Let me know if you want me to make you presenter, if you are going to present anything. Since she's not able to hear me. Anyway, I'll invite her when we reconvene for the announcement. So let's take a break, and during the break, as usual, I'll be running my slides, which we normally do it in the breaks. So,
Chintan sir, I am in.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I was not
Sure.
able to unmute.
Okay, fine. Oh, thanks, Priya. Okay, over to you.
Sharing
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah, sure. I'll make you presenter. Yes, Priya, you are presenter. You can share your screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen. You guys let me know when you're able to see my screen. Sorry, this is not the one.
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Yeah, but it's seeing wrong. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah, yes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They are able.
All right. So yes, hello everyone. I am Priya Patra and I'm your Vice President Outreach, as you all know. I am here to make a small announcement again about our PMI chapter exchange initiative. And as you know, in 2020, we had onboarded 10 chapters. In 2021, we have already onboarded around 8 chapters. And this time we are going to have a 13 chapter collaboration event on March 26, 2021. And and we have Lima Peru joining in. Lima Peru is a Latin American chapter. And this is our first Latin American chapter that is joining us. And the topic of discussion is project management in construction. So earlier we had many feedback saying that they want to know about how project management works in construction. And we know that it is not it is a very complex, construction projects are very complex, and we wanted to discuss more about it. And these are our panelists. We have Jose, who is joining in from Lima, Peru. We have Silly Bazio, who is joining in from Zimbabwe. We have Adi Prastyo from Indonesia and Harry from United States of America. And this will be moderated by our very own Jinein. He is from the construction industry. And this will require little specific on the domain itself. That's why we have invited him to moderate this session. If you look at it, you will have different perspectives from 5 continents: Latin America, North America, Asia, as well as Africa. So this, and India, of course, and kind of India is not a continent, but this is how it will be. So I encourage everyone to register for this session. It is on March 26, 2021, 19:15 IST. We are also having Brandley Underhill, who is the managing director of PMI Global North America. coming and speaking and giving a foreword for this entire panel discussion. So do join us. I will paste in the link to join this session or to register for this session. Also another link where you can ask questions to these panelists so that they are prepared with their answers and we can have a more fruitful discussion. So we have two posts. One post is for registering and the second post is for asking questions. So I will do that right now on the link on the chat window. Just give me a second. Where is the chat? Yeah. So here is the link to register and link to ask questions. Do not forget to do that. Who tried to register but no register button? It is there at the end, at the bottom of the screen on the right hand side. I just registered few minutes back. Please try that. If you're still not able to do it, you can connect with me offline. I will help you to register. So these are the links that I've already pasted, link to register and link to post your questions. So that is about PMI chapter exchange. Apart from that, we also do have another initiative, that is a GROW initiative. This is a mentor-mentee initiative or mentoring initiative that we have launched last month. So far, we have 9 mentees and an overwhelming response for mentors. We have shared emails to all the mentor-mentees, and please do respond if you're still interested in being a mentor or like to be mentored. We are going to set up an onboarding call or a call for discussing how the way forward. That would be on the week of last week of March. Please look out for your the email from the outreach portfolio for this onboarding call. So the mentors would be chosen based on the mentees that we have got, right? So mentees will be, if they are from construction, we will choose mentors from construction. If they are from healthcare, we'll choose mentors from healthcare. So if you do not get an email, don't worry about it. We are having a lot of mentees that are coming up that will be registering, because we had a discussion with SNDT University, as you see in this picture here. So we had a big discussion with SNDT University. They are having their exams now. Post that, we will have a 2-hour session with them where it will be an ask a mentor, like, ask career pitch charcha, maybe something like that, where we will tell mentors to be panelists and the students will come and ask questions, and we will ask them to express interest if they want to be mentored. So this is the 2 initiatives that is going on. One is the PMI chapter exchange, links already posted on the chat window. One for registering, other for asking questions. Second is we are having the GROW initiative. We have already discussed. We already have 9 mentees on the platform, and we are discussing with SNDT University to get their students also onboarded. So look out for emails from the chapter, from the outreach portfolio in your mailbox. There'll be an onboarding call for the GROW initiative on in the last week of March. Please do attend in large numbers and let us make an impact. Let us make the Gen Z ready. All right. Any questions, any suggestions, please feel free to drop us a note, or you can ask here as well. Let me know if there is any question. Vikram Raj, please ping me. I will help you to register for the event. Or Sunil can also help you to register for the event. I think it tries. It allows people to register even when the event is in progress. But are you clicking? This event is not in progress. This is for March 26. So you should be able to register. If you are not able to register, because we already have 200 odd registrations, so which makes me think that there could be some issue. Sunil can help you to register. Vikram Raj, right? Is that all? Am I right? Okay. Okay, so with this, Ketan sir If there are no questions, then I am done. If there is any question, I'm happy to take. Vikram Raj, please paste your email ID so we can connect with you and help you to register. No, so there it can limit 1,000 people can register. So our WebEx has a limit of 1,000. So I'm sure that. Yes,
Vikram,
thank you, Vikram. Yeah,
Vikram Raj has shared his email ID.
I will connect with him. Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
sure that we have not exceeded 1,000 registrations, but yes, we will connect with you, Vikram Raj. I'm asking Sunil to connect with you to help you with the registration. Okay, your phone number also, if you can. Okay. So
Okay.
I think I am done.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks for that. And we'll resume our session now because it's time up for resuming our session. So if there are any more queries on the chat box, I'll pass on to you. Okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
sure.
Okay. So again, coming back to our session, Mr. Chintan, if you are ready, I'll make you presenter.
Yes, yes, Ketan, I'm ready. I hope all the participants are also ready and they are back.
I think yes.
I request everyone if you can just type on the chat if you are back, just type back so we at least have a fair idea that yes, people are back. Just say back. Yes,
Yes,
back.
back.
In the
Yes,
chat
yes.
window.
Yes, people are back, and maybe some people have not gone only. We didn't give them a chance to go.
It was. So anyway, so now let us resume our
Yes.
session. Let me know when you are able to see my screen.
Okay, just one announcement before you start off. I think in the interest of people, those who have joined late, they would have missed out my announcement in the beginning, which we did, that there is a question answer session we have kept in the end. So all your questions, if you have, you can keep it or you can just start posting it in chat box. We'll take these questions at the end of the session. We are keeping 15-20 minutes for interaction and answering your question, because I'm sure with such a beautiful presentation and a lot of new ideas coming up, you'll have a lot of questions. So we are keeping that kind of exclusive time for question answer session. So you can put them in chat box. We'll pick up those things in the question answer timing. Okay. So over to you, sir. Chintan, sir. You can start. Thank you.
Thanks, Ketan. Thank you so much. And let us get back to our presentation and we move on to the new jobs on the horizon. So because of these technology trends and the new economic environment, global ongoing pandemic, and the next wave of disruption, which is on the horizon, what are the new jobs which are being introduced? What kind of new technologies are shaping up new jobs? And let us have a quick overview of them. What are the new jobs on the horizon? Next generation connect. 5G is on the rise. Airtel is the first operator. They have already launched 5G in the city of Hyderabad. Jio is going to launch 5G services in the second half of 2021. Almost all the enterprises would be adopting 5G to enhance their customer experience, to improve efficiency, to improve profitability. We, as a project manager around us, would see that there is a lot of 5G related projects would be, in progress. There would be a lot of pilot projects which would be undertaken. So it is the right time to enable the refresh and equip ourselves with the relevant knowledge of 5G. So someone said slide is not changing. So which slide are you looking at right now? Which is the slide which?
We are able to see next gen connect.
That's true. So this is a slide and I just had the commentary around it. So I am just moved to the other slide. So this is what I shared was the commentary along with the slide. Now let us move on to the next one. Now, because all of us are having a lot of data in our enterprise, there would be the requirement of retention of the data. There would be requirement for retrieval of the data. There would be a requirement to ensure regulatory compliance for the data. As you are aware that healthcare industry is supposed to preserve the data for 7 to 10 years. Telcos are now required to preserve any data, any CDR logs for 3 years, and such are the various industry specific data storage and retrieval requirements. So that is where, moving on from data scientist to a data strategist, there will be new job roles, and these are the people who would be driving the data ecosystem within the organization. He would be deciding what kind of data has to be stored on which kind of cloud environment, and how often and at what speed these data should be retrieved, and what kind of capability and infrastructure has to be kept ready to meet the data requirement of the organization. So the new job role of data strategist would be seen in 2023 and beyond. Edge compute architects, with the rise of 5G and IoT. Next generation edge compute use cases would be seen mainly into supply chain, manufacturing, and smart cities. So that is where various enterprises would have edge compute architects as a job, and that is how a lot of new projects also would be there for all of us to execute. And if we are able to learn what is edge compute and what it requires, then probably at the right time you can be part of the project team who is executing edge compute projects. So this slide says architect, but then you can also become an edge compute project manager as well. Deception agents, there would be a new job role, or there would be a new requirement in the industry wherein a lot of cybersecurity deception agents would be required. These are the cybersecurity specialists who are capable of protecting the cyber or digital assets of their enterprises from hackers. So these are the kind of, the what you call the bouncers. These are the people who would be mandated to protect the digital and cyber assets of their organization, and they would be doing a lot of proactive work to make sure that their enterprise, their customer, their employer is saved from any potential cyber threat. So that is where a lot of cyber security related job roles, projects, and initiatives would be running within organizations. Having the knowledge of cybersecurity would help you take up a new role and be part of such initiative. Satellite internet, Starlink is coming to India in 2022, and they have already started booking uh, for customers, and then you can book a Starlink internet access by paying $100 right now. And that is where a lot of new use cases are going to come up. The new way of accessing internet is changing. Apart from Starlink, Bharti Airtel has recently bought a company called OneWeb. So they are coming up with the entire web of satellites to support their customers globally. These customers will have different IoT devices fitted on their supply chain, and then that is how new use cases, new projects will be there, which would require the new knowledge. In fact, ISRO and Government of India are also allowing new startups to be part of the space launch. uh, are you aware that there are two companies which are based out of Mumbai who have launched their own satellites in the space? So our city has got two companies who are these are private companies, and they are owning satellite in space. Quantum compute solution specialists, and then such as quantum compute project managers. If you think that earlier when we had supercomputers, it was almost 15 years we took to make our own indigenous supercomputer. Can any one of you name the name of the our supercomputer which was developed by
Param,
India?
Param.
Param, yeah, well said. And that was something that we had to wait. Our technology ecosystem, our businesses had to wait for 1.5 decade to get our own supercomputer. But with the rise of technology, and I just mentioned that now the industry scenario is changing from competition to collaboration. And thanks to these cloud-enabled companies, now uh, AWS, Microsoft Azure, as well as Google, they have launched quantum compute as a service. So it means that if you wish to take benefit of quantum compute technology and you have certain business case wherein quantum compute is required, then you need not wait by using Azure or AWS or Google Cloud. You can straight away get access to their quantum computer and run your business. So this is the speed at which the technology is changing. Our Niti Aayog, with the help of AWS, has established a what you call a lab on quantum compute. So that is how entire government ecosystem is getting equipped to adopt quantum compute at scale. So having right knowledge of quantum compute would enable you to be part of the quantum compute ecosystem. Virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, various types of reality are being addressed in a single word as XR. The picture what you are looking at is a armed forces team which is fighting a war around 7,000 kilometers away. The entire rover, the autonomous vehicles are in somewhere in a different rogue territory. These guys are operating these unmanned vehicles, and then that is how the war is being fought. Not only war, but uh, let me give you example of L&T. L&T is using virtual reality to train their construction workers. As and when the construction project is over and then the same crew is being deployed to other site, the kind of training they must undergo is converted to virtual reality. So that is how the entire industry is moving. Our police force, our defense force are being trained to use virtual reality, and that is how they are practicing certain in-house trainings using virtual reality. Not only that, uh, lot of advanced forward-looking companies are also using virtual reality simulators before they recruit the right candidate. When I say this, it means that in a 2D environment, a 2D interview environment, as when a question is asked to the candidate, he or she would give a Miss India answer, which would be the right ideal answer. But probably as and when the same person is put into a certain scenario, there would be a difference in his thought process, the answer what he is given, and the way he would act. And that is where these advanced companies are trying to understand the psychology, get hold of the right candidate for the right position. And that is where various simulation tools are being used by these companies. So having the right knowledge on virtual reality, augmented reality, or mixed reality would help you get into the right project. Blockchain, cryptography, Bitcoin, all these keywords we have heard. And that is where, if you are a crypto expert, if you know the right knowledge for blockchain, would be able to take the right position in the right ecosystem. We have heard about uh, Bitcoins, and Bitcoin is just a cryptocurrency. But blockchain also has got a capability which would help us monetize the IPR. You can get the right, you can sell music using blockchain. You can track a farm to fork produce, so you can track with the broccoli what you are eating was grown in which area. You can track diamonds, that whatever diamond you are buying was what you call brought out from which kind of mine, whether any blood money was involved or not. You can track the coffee what you are consuming, whether it is from African coffee or it is a South Indian coffee or it is some coffee from some other country. And that is how the entire ecosystem is changing. You can soon you will be able to validate the authenticity of any kind of wine you are purchasing, any kind of garment you are purchasing. So that is where the entire blockchain, entire crypto tech is moving, and it becomes really essential for all of us to choose a technology and then move further. People who are into infra and civil and the mega infrastructure structure industry, probably the entire urban transport system around us are is changing. Recently, you have seen that Reliance has enhanced their stake, and then now they are at a controlling stake in a company called Skytrans, which is developing a overhead pods as shown in the the slide. And that is how the entire last mile mobility is changing. A lot of electric vehicles are coming, so as various types of cities are being connected using metro. uh, there are many cities now in our state itself who are having metro in as part of their urban infrastructure. Pune, Nagpur, they are now having metro stations. So new jobs are being created. Bullet train is coming, hyperloop is coming, and that is where the entire urban planning and transition planning would be a big project. So we must equip ourselves to get the right position in the right place at the right time. Drones are on the rise. A lot of companies are considering to deploy drones for their in-house uses. In fact, when I said government is one of the leading adopters of technology, let me tell you, our Konkan Railway is using drone to inspect the railway tracks before the trains pass. So they program a drone, and the drone flies almost 1.5 to 2 kilometers away uh, or ahead of the train, and then the picture, the vision captured by the camera on the drone gets analyzed, and the health of the track is assessed, and then the train follows the drone. So these are the kind of new use cases. Probably we may have more use cases in life around us. Drone pilot has become a course, and DGCA has started or authorized multiple education institutes to conduct and award license to various drone pilots. There would be a new requirement for mechanical or electromechanical engineers to manage these drones, and that is where we would be having new roles for drone fleet engineers. We as project managers can be part of these drone companies and help them scale up their operations or execute new initiatives. E-commerce, though the corona has brought the entire sharing economy on the halt, but as and when the vaccination is rolled out to a certain scale, again, e-commerce is likely to pick up once again. So there will be a lot of co-working spaces, co-living spaces, and other infra sharing projects or initiatives or service providers would be in a higher demand. The picture what you're looking at in this slide is a Robocop, and this robo is patrolling the streets of San Francisco. This is not a pilot project, but there are streets of San Francisco which are being monitored and surveillanced by such robos. Just Google night scope and you would have various videos about this robo. These robots are having various sensors as far as the speed, as far as the temperature, or as far as the face identifications are concerned. They are able to capture the picture. They are connected with the law enforcement systems, the ecosystem, and they are able to issue tickets to the violators. They are able to collect the fine amount as well, and that is how a kind of 8 to 10 robots are being supervised by human cop, and that is how the entire new work culture of robo fleet supervisors is on the horizon. Having the right knowledge about robotics and uh, uh, regulatory or surveillance would help you get into such kind of project deployments. We saw this in our favorite Rajinikanth movie, Robo, the Chitti, uh, which was like, Robo Swarms made the bigger Robo, and that is where the entire, what you call, the larger version of Rajnikant, the Robo gets created. So this was the visualization of Robo Swarms. They are called Robo Swarms. And these self-assembling robots are programmed to take certain shape when put under certain environment or certain command gets executed. So these are the new things. This is much advanced. This is not likely to be seen for 2027, but having information about these robo swarms would help you maintain the edge over your competition. All of us have trusted autonomous driving already at 40,000 feet above land. So aircrafts are being put in autonomous mode since decades. Now is the time that we should start trusting autonomous driving on land. And now, sooner by 2025, we are going to have autonomous vehicle in our society. There will be a lot of electric vehicles, there will be a lot of autonomous vehicle, autonomous buses, which would be ferrying passengers. And that is where having sharpening your knowledge of electrical engineering, sharpening your knowledge about computer science, sharpening your sales skills would help you be part of this revolution. Hydrogen mobility, not before 2027. Forget the electric EV ecosystem. A new type of mobility using hydrogen would be on the horizon from 2027 to 2030. So this is also bit far right now. Unlike autonomous mobility on land, now there are pilots which are in progress for autonomous shipping. So there wouldn't be any shipping crew on the ship, but ship would have high-tech connectivity with the satellite, and this satellite, the network of satellite would be monitoring the ship and then enabling a person or team sitting at a remote to control and maneuver the ship, so that now the casualty because of the weather, because of accidents in the shipping industry can be drastically reduced. Come 2025, autonomous ships may be ferrying various types of goods in our sea. Teleportation experts, 2014 Lok Sabha election was the first election wherein uh, Narendra Modi addressed uh, uh, addressed political rally at around 110 places simultaneously using teleportation. So at these 110 locations, people were sitting or standing in front of a screen, and they felt that Narendra Modi was standing in front of them and delivering a talk. So these are the kind of advancement which has already happened in ecosystem around us. Sooner or later, we would see various use cases wherein business leaders are attending conference using teleportation. The picture what you are seeing is a capture from what you call Star Wars, wherein this character is being teleported from a remote place, and that is how by 2025 you will see a lot of teleportation use cases in the industry. Space explorers. I just mentioned that two Indian companies own satellite, and these companies are based out of Mumbai. There are more than two, but then two companies are based out of our city itself. So there will be a lot of movement and development in the space industry, in the satellite industry. People would be have opportunity to be part of this industry. I have founded, just a side talk, I have founded a community. The name of the community is TMI community. There are, various types of session we conduct, and then we conducted a session of a project manager from European Space Agency, and now they are already started working on projects, initiatives, simulations for colonization on Mars. So, what would be the colony of Mars look like? What would be the culture of the colony? If you are sending 100 people on Mars, then what kind of understanding they would have? What kind of base rule they have? So, European Space Agency has got requirement of job right from a gardener to a psychologist to a neurologist, because they want all these professional people to engage, arrive at process, standardize the document, and train the crew who would be traveling to the Mars. So this is where the space industry would open a new door for all of us. 3D, 4D, and 5D printers. I am sure many of you have seen 3D printed mobile cases, which helps us, the back covers. 3D printed tooth implants are available in as far as 15 kilometers away from my residence in Navi Mumbai. DY Patil College has already started 3D printing tooth implants. So that is where the world is moving. 4D printing, 5D printers. These are the new things which are hitting us by 2023 itself. Experiential learning. If you are part of the EdTech ecosystem, the entire digital classroom is changing, right from a monologue or to a duologue. The entire education ecosystem is changing to a experiential learning, wherein students would be taught by various experiments, by various visualizations, by various practicals. The entire curriculums are getting digitized. Entire curriculums are being delivered using various apps, and then various companies are entering this ecosystem. So you have a fair chance to advance your skills and be part of this revolution. Human augmentation engineers. I'm sure that all of us have heard Elon Musk introducing Neuralink. Neuralink is a small sensor which Elon Musk plans to implant on our skull, and that neural link would ultimately get connected to a satellite, and then probably if you think to listen sitar, then you would start streaming, get the music in your ears directly, and that is kind of futuristic use cases Neuralink is foreseeing. Neuralink also aims to solve various types of what you call, I mean, neurological disorders, and that is where the entire new industry of human augmentation is on the horizon. We have seen that various citizens in Sweden are already having an implant under their skin right now also. These implants are storing information about their digital identity, about their social security numbers, and then while accessing various systems, they just show their finger and then the access is granted. So such kind of human implants are already in place, and ultimate version of human augmentation is Iron Man. All of us have seen that movie which enables a human to fly and have capability to throw certain object at a high speed. Maybe imagine a capability that with the right human augmentation gear may be able to throw a cricket ball at a 200 kilometers an hour speed. So that is how the entire human augmentation industry is shaping up. Bionic eye, all of us have heard, read, and seen various videos wherein humans are being implanted bionic eye. There is also a human, I missed the name of that guy. He is the guy who has the maximum artificial, organs on his body. And that is how the entire biomedical, mechanical industry is moving. So if you belong to a biology sector, if you belong to pharma sector, if you belong to healthcare sector, if you are a technologist, if you are a project manager, you have got a chance to be part of this revolution. Renewable energy engineers. The entire world is moving away from fossil fuel and they have started generating energy using solar and wind energies. Couple of European countries have run entire days and weeks on renewable energy, and they are now considering to shut down those fossil fuel based power generation facilities. Our country is right now deploying solar and wind at a scale, but still there is an opportunity for us to be part of this ecosystem. Right now itself, there are a lot of solar energy deployments are happening, and if you are a right candidate, you can be part of all the civil engineers, all the mechanical engineers, all the electrical engineers. They still have an opportunity window to be part of this ecosystem. Please understand, not everything is getting migrated to cloud, but having the right skill, having the best skill in the industry would help you survive this wave of disruption. As and when there is a lot of energy gets generated, there would be a challenge to store this energy, because all of us know that once energy is generated, be it by wind, solar, or even hydro, or even by fossil fuel, it cannot be stored. So in future, you would see such kind of energy storage facilities in our areas wherein the excess amount of energy is stored in such kind of containers which would be housing battery banks of battery banks of various capacity and sizes. So these battery banks would store the power temporarily, and as and when there is outage of the renewable energy ecosystem, be it solar, because you cannot generate solar energy at night. There is no sun. So how do you uh, power our customers? How do you provide power? So during the daytime, when the excess energy is generated by solar uh, is higher and the demand is lower, then what you do is you try to store these excess energy into various battery banks, and during night time you change over to these battery banks and then provide power to various household customers. So this is the way world is moving, and having the right infra industry knowledge would help you survive in this wave. Atmospheric water harvesters. These kind of water harvesters are being installed in African region, in Amazon region, to make sure that potable water is supplied to people who are not getting the right quality of water right now. And that is where the entire sustainability project, the UN SDG goals, are stressing upon such kind of basic facilities. And a lot of companies, lot of venture capitalists are investing into such kind of projects, and having the right knowledge would help you be part of the ecosystem. Urban agriculturist. Now is the time that people have also started to grow food around them. There are a lot of companies who are growing vertical gardens. There are people who are growing their food on their terrace, and then they have stopped buying food from outside. So there would be a profession. If you love gardening, if you have an app for agriculture, then you can make a career by helping certain people develop a vertical garden in their infrastructure. You can help them create a terrace garden, and then help them sell the product, and then help them sell the services and make a living out of it. So being a urban agriculturist is also a new profession. Tree technologist. Think of a biologist who is growing a multicolor flower, and probably you would be able to sell this flower at a premium. Please note that the picture does not have a digitally mastered picture. These are real flowers grown or by a biologist, by a human. So this is where there will be new demand. There is already new demand for 3D printed chocolates, 3D printed sweets in the new forms, which cannot be done by humans right now. Right now, you don't get I mean, a unique shaped flower vase. So that is how the entire new product ecosystem is getting on. Uh, Now moving on, nutrition engineers. The picture you are looking at is a lab grown meat. Because of the rise in population and because of shortage of food for everyone, we are now forced to grow our food in lab in our factories, and that is where lab grown meat is going to enter the market in a year's time. And this is not far away. Couple of our Bollywood stars have invested into companies which I have started growing meat, and they are entering the market by end of the year. So the entire food industry would get flooded with a lab grown food, and then probably it would have equally nutritious amount as the real one. And eventually come 2025, you may shift to a lab grown food than a farm grown food, because in lab there would be a certain constrained environment which would ensure that no pesticide and no polluted air or water is fed to the food which is being grown for you. So the entire nutrition and food industry is on the verge of a disruption. Extinction revivalist. If we are looking at various kinds of what you call ecosystem under the sea, we know more about Mars and less about sea. So this is the world we live in, and there is a huge ecosystem under the sea, and that is where you can be part of this ecosystem and the industry associated with it. If you are looking at this picture, you can be an extinction revivalist and try to protect certain species which are on the verge of extinction from our planet. And that is something which is a big industry, lot of government, lot of NGOs, lot of United Nations agencies, lot of venture capitalists are investing in this ecosystem, and then new jobs are being created for these extinction revivalists. Bioremediation expert. You would have heard that a lot of plastic waste is floating in ocean. The size of plastic waste floating in ocean is larger than couple of countries of Europe. If you look at the Atlantic Ocean, if you sum total the entire floating waste in an Atlantic Ocean, that is higher than the size of that floating plastic is higher than a couple of countries. And a single plastic island which has been created in mid-Atlantic has is larger than the size or area of Paris city. So this is the kind of situation we are into. There are a lot of companies who have come up, and then they are spraying various bacteria which would eat away this plastic. certain types of bacteria are capable of eating plastic, and that is their main food. So if you are able to spray this bacteria on this plastic, floating plastic, probably you are trying to solve two problems. You are trying to help these bacteria with the right food, and then you are trying to solve the problem of floating plastic in our ocean as well. There are various companies who have started collecting this garbage, and then they are monetizing this plastic waste by making various kind of shoe, various kind of plastic bottles, wristbands, wristwatch bands, our waist belts, and all such accessories. There are companies who have started manufacturing our jogging suits using this recycled plastic which was floating on the ocean. So the entire new ecosystem is on the horizon. But yes, we as a country are far away. This is likely to enter our ecosystem not before 2025. Gene editors. Many of you would have heard about CRISPR. CRISPR is a project, and they are developing a capability to alter faulty human gene. So in case of any hereditary diseases which are being passed from generation to generation, and we do not have any control to treat these kind of patients, probably once CRISPR becomes a realistic project, then we would have a capability to alter the gene of the patient and then help them overcome the disease. So having eye on these gene editing industry would also help understand and then be part of the ecosystem at the right time. Elon Musk has already said that by 2027 he's planning to have a scheduled space flight to Mars. So if you are considering to be part of this industry, then you can advance your skill well in advance and then be part of this ecosystem. So when he is planning this advanced space flight, he is also planning a rapid transit system under the earth as well as over the earth. The kind of rockets he is testing is something that has got a capability to allow a human to travel from New York to Tokyo in 30 minutes time. Right now the flight time is around 8 to 10 hours. But with the new technology, what is being planned for space travel, it would equip the user from San Francisco to Singapore in 45 minutes time. And this is the way the entire world is moving, and the new tech would be enabling the new ways of, mobility, new ways of transfer, and that is where we have a fair chance to be part of this ecosystem. Electric aviation, apart from electric scooter, electric auto, electric vehicle, electric aviation is about to enter our airplanes, and that is where we may not be using fossil fuel to fly an airplane. In fact, we may have batteries which would power our turbines, and then we may have silent aircrafts going forward. So this is something likely to be there in general availability by 2030. So have an eye on it if you are part of the aviation ecosystem. Senior living specialist. Lot of this pandemic has created lot of challenges for these senior peoples, and that is where entire new industry of senior citizen living and assisted living has come up. These senior citizens would need regular monitoring, regular healthcare assistance, various sensors to monitor their movement, whether they are awake, whether they are sleeping, whether they are sleeping beyond certain hours, have they taken their medicine, what is the kind of blood pressure they are having, what kind of health condition they are having. And then again, if you are capturing these information and then if you are sharing with their son or daughter, then you have a avenue to earn money. And that is how the entire ecosystem of senior citizen or senior living is coming up. In fact, multiple senior living infrastructure has come up in Malshe Ghat, the area between Mumbai and Pune. and a lot of people have started investing in a retirement home. So again, the civil and infrastructure industry, the builders have a chance to develop senior citizen friendly apartments, and these are the serviced apartments which would give them food and then medicine on time. They just need to live there like they are living in a hotel. So the entire ecosystem, the entire culture is changing now. Digital inheritance managers. What happens to my Hotmail after I die? What happens to my Gmail? What happens to my digital assets? What happens to who owns my mobile after I die? Who can decide in my absence? So traditionally we used to sign wills, but now we also own various digital assets, and that is where a new profession of digital inheritance manager is shaping up. There are a couple of Indian companies who are facilitating this requirement. And a simple use case, a simple possibility. Every 15 days, you have to log in into the system. If you fail to log in into the system, they call you, and if you do not answer the call, they consider that this is the right time to execute your digital inheritance, uh, digital will, and then your passwords, your access of your various data would be given to the person you have nominated. And these are the people who are legally making sure that your digital data is given to the right successor. So the new industry, new profession, new ecosystem of digital inheritance is shaping up, and already multiple Indian startups are also working on this. What are the major factors which are driving this future of jobs? Mainly three: technology, globalization, and enviro-social factors. We are already at 4 minutes past 12. So how much time we have, Ketan? So based on this, I will try to cover this slide, or I'll skip it.
We can cover it, no problem. I think
Okay, sure. So let me increase my speed, and
sure,
then
sure, yes.
we'll cover this.
Sure, yes.
So because technology is driving, we have got improved efficiency. We are able to access high-speed internet, high-speed internet compute is available, and that is how the technology is driving this future of jobs. We are flexible. Technology is helping. I mean, the rise of technology and convergence of multiple technology is enabling us with new use cases. Virtual collaboration and learning is on the rise, so we need not be at site uh, everywhere. So remotely, we are able to multitask, and our efficiency and capabilities have drastically improved. However, there are also challenges for regulatory, privacy, ethics, law. So this itself is also creating a new industry in itself. Globalization, if you talk about the second factor, global and mobile workforce is shaping up. Millennials and Gen Z are in the workforce now. People who are born in 2000 are entering they are graduating this year, and they are entering our workforce. So all these millennials, Gen Zs, this is a time when 5 generations are working in the workforce right now. People are now thinking of going local. Governments are planning to encourage local manufacturing, local services, and localization of everything. So that is where future of jobs is also likely to create new jobs. India is already a software capital of the world. Having the right skill, right knowledge at right time would gain us more and more mileage going forward. And mind it, if you have the right technological knowledge to equip your experience, then definitely you would be not only surviving but thriving. Enviro-social factors, reverse migration from urban to rural. Many of the people have shifted. I don't want to live in Mumbai. I will live in Vapi. I will live in Nagpur. From Nagpur, I will go to Aurangabad. I will not live in Hyderabad. Let me go and settle back in Ranchi, because the entire uniform internet access, and with rise of 5G, you need not be in, I mean, any urban area to access certain services. The technology is also advanced such that securely you can access your office system sitting anywhere. renewed focus on social wellness. Now, employers have also recognized that while people are working from home, you need to help them focus to regain the wellness. Political stability. Earlier, the situation was so that we used to have riots in multiple riots in a single year, and there was a lot of uncertainty. Now, with the political stability, we are having a favorable and encouraging environment, which is helping us maintain the momentum of growth. Infrastructure availability. Earlier, when all of us were young, probably we would have seen that either we were traveling or our relatives were traveling or shopping of for a wedding. We used to, say, Acha, theek hai, I went to Mumbai and then I purchased Levi's jean. But now, a person living in Nashik also is able to buy jeans from a local mall or a shop who is selling Levi's original jeans. So that is how the entire infrastructure, supply chain availability has enabled us to deliver goods to any place, be it Guwahati or be it Gandhinagar. You are able to sell. You are selling on Amazon. You are able to sell anything everywhere, and your customer need not be in a city. Now, people who used to have various kind of handmade products are also able to sell their uh, have customers anywhere across the globe. So this is the way the technology is driving future of jobs. This is a list of 15 jobs which was published by LinkedIn. So I am not recommending, this is not my independent research, but this has been published by LinkedIn that these are the top 15 jobs which would be in demand in 2021. And if you look at it, they've rightly said nurses, they are rightly said digital marketing professionals, they are rightly said healthcare supporting staff. We are in huge demand for healthcare workers because now healthcare workers are supposed to work 24 by 7, and that is where threefold requirement rather than having two people having a 12-hour shift. Now they have started having third person also. So the entire new requirement of healthcare specialists, specialized engineering people, mental health specialists, wellness specialists have also seen, and then that is where new jobs are just ahead. What are the top 10 skills in 2025? The World Economic Forum says that these are the 10 skills which would be in demand. In the interest of time, I'm just skipping it. You can Google and learn about this. Having advanced information about these skills would help you prepare, chalk out a plan, and then pick up certain skills and then master these skills. Disappearing jobs by 2030. Definitely, these jobs will not be seen in by 2030. And one of them, let me just pick up draftsman. We don't have any draftsmen. The entire engineering drawing has shifted to AutoCAD. People have started working on computers only. You don't see travel agent. When was the last time when you approach someone and say, "Bhaiya, मेरे लिए दिल्ली का ticket book कर दो ना, please"? Librarians, going forward, the entire libraries would turn digital. So by 2025, we won't need any librarians. Postal courier sorters, there won't be any job. If you would have seen people sorting out various postal covers even within the post office, but now that job has been taken over by machines. So you don't need humans to sort out and order or reorder these envelopes. You can just put all the envelopes in a machine, and then based on the GIS maps, the location, deliverable, all these things would get sorted automatically. Bank tellers, you don't need anyone, any human to count cash and then give you cash. Textile workers, the entire industry 4.0 is automating entire industry. So probably you don't need any workers to operate machines. Yes, you need supervisors to manage a fleet of machines. So that still would be there, but worker level job wouldn't be around. Customer care executives, right now there are, last week I met a company who are developing a AI enabled robo which would talk to people like human. So this is basically a chatbot which gets integrated with I mean deep fake AI. So there would be a face of a human, and while you are trying to access customer care, you would feel that you are talking to some human. So this is the way the entire customer care experience is changing. Taxi and Uber drivers we may not see by 2030 because the entire fleet would get into autonomous mode. Data logger, data entry operators. When we were young, we used to see that people are entering various types of data and into the computer system. They are converting those hard copies and then digitizing the data. Now you don't need any one of them. In fact, if I would like to point out that installing a Excel app on your mobile and then taking a pic using the app can help you digitize entire what do you call, a table on a paper. If there is a table printed on a paper and if you want to put it in Excel, then right now what you do is you have to manually key in all the values. But with the latest feature of Excel, just click a picture of that table and then all the values would get automatically populated in Excel. Right now the tool itself is in learning mode, so you may be required to do certain fine tuning. But as the technology matures, maybe in a year or two, you may not need to enter anything. Just click a picture and the entire data would be in your Excel to play with, and then you can jump start on that. You won't need any kind of sports referees, umpires, because the entire sports is also having a revolution, and then a lot of sensors would be automatically generating alerts, so that you don't need any umpires to do this job. That would also help us enhance trust on the system, because machines, when fairly programmed, would give you an unbiased result. You may not see any kind of newspaper, magazine, because the entire system would be digital. So these are the kind of new jobs which are coming up, and then these are the jobs which are disappearing by 2030. But we still have some time, so let us plan ahead. What should we do now? Write something every day. At times it happens that for days together you haven't written a sentence. Our work culture, our work lifestyle has changed drastically. We don't write at all. So please don't stop writing. Make a cautious effort to write something every day. At least keep that handwriting alive, the style of work, writing alive. Read new books, be creative, be maintain your focus, because this digital ecosystem and the technology revolution has reduced our attention span, and that is where probably we don't prefer our one of the research reports said that our attention span has been less than 10 seconds, and then our psyche also has changed in such a way that we try to judge and make a decision based on that 10-second view, which is not fair, which is not good for all of us. So that is where please maintain a habit of reading something. Please read newspaper. Please hold a paper and try to read something. Read a book. Take classes in art, music, some creative activity. Take work with a mentor. Identify a mentor. I myself do mentoring. I have 11 mentees myself. People, my mentees range from fresher to chief legal officer of a telecom operator. So that is how. Please collaborate. Please learn. Having a mentee is not a shameful act, because you need someone to talk to. You need to identify. You need a lighthouse, and that is where these mentors help. Teach something to someone. Try to teach someone something. Try to get into a community like PMI Mumbai chapter. Walk up to the relevant authority. Walk up to relevant vice president and say that, hey, I would like to conduct a session. Try to teach something to someone. Excel in a technology. Pick up a technology. I am not recommending any specific technology to anyone. Just pick up one technology of your choice and deep dive into the ecosystem of that specific technology. This can be artificial intelligence and machine learning, can be blockchain, can be cybersecurity, can be drones, can be edge compute, can be any other technology of your choice. We have seen a lot of technologies today. Surf internet with aim. Don't be a charged electron without any direction. Please try to surf internet with the aim that okay, you are here to check emails. It means you will check emails. Don't keep on switching screens from half of email. You've read half the email, then you jump onto Instagram, and then you go to Facebook, and then again come back and finish reading that email. Please avoid such kind of multitasking. It drastically impacts your productivity, and it also leads to undue frustration. Engage in social media with a purpose. Please understand, having the right connection matters. So engage with the right media. Do you think you need to follow Amitabh Bachchan? I would prefer to follow Elon Musk instead. So choose the right people whom you would like to follow in social media. I need not follow Salman Khan. If I am not at all connected with political ecosystem, I need not follow any political leader. But I need to follow my interests. So be careful and cautious. Having a wrong follower, sorry, having a wrong follower in your social media will pollute your wall and thus pollute your thoughts, and then that may lead to a impact on your emotional wellness as well as your enhance your frustration. Be careful whom to follow in social media. Be careful. It is okay not to read any article. It is okay to change the channel when you don't have a program of your choice. We don't get paid to watch advertisements. Try to use your time judiciously. Learn critical thinking and problem solving skills. So these are the things try to start uh, implement for yourself. As a project manager, we have delivered a lot of projects for the rest of the world and on our bread and butter through it. But now is the time that you as an individual must undertake a project for yourself. Understand where you are. Decide where you would like to go from within 1 year and 3 year time, and then start working on it. Start augmenting your skill. Start refreshing your skill, and that would help you survive and thrive in this new world. Now let us come to our current profession. How do you future proof your project management career? So these are the 11 steps I recommend that all of you must undertake to future proof your career in project management. The first point is refresh your current project management knowledge. Many of us are already spent almost 5+ years since we became a PMP, and then all of us are engaging with the world. But it would be a good idea to read PMBOK once again. It would be a good idea to undertake the mock test of PMP certification. It would be a good idea to again enroll in a bridge course or PMBOK, wherein as and when there is a new version of the PMBOK, then our chapter also conducts bridge courses. So it would be a good idea to attend such uh, trainings to help you upkeep with the current project management knowledge. It is high time we must also learn new project management methodologies like Agile, Scrum, Kanban, Lean Manufacturing, even discipline Agile. So we must learn and then upkeep our knowledge as far as project management uh, trade is concerned. We should also learn various cloud-based project management tools. Apart from having theory and then working on the tool, you should also learn various types of tools in the ecosystem. As I just said, you must pick up and start mastering deep dive in one technology at least. You must focus on enhancing your analytical skills. You must learn how to make a macro so that at least you are able to automate certain tasks. How can you enhance your critical and thinking and problem solving skills? Please undertake a course or watch various YouTube videos. Please learn finance for non-finance so that you are able to understand the finance terms and then help take new responsibilities within the organization. Please master the entire ecosystem of digital transformation. Please learn collaboration skills because now the world is moving to virtual collaboration medium, and that is where you would need to learn to manage distributed teams sitting across multiple countries and then never meeting face to face. Programming for end-to-end KPI management. Now is the time then to advance our project management trade also as well. We must have end-to-end visibility, a single dashboard for all stages of project or multiple projects running within the PMO. Please learn various digital media tools. Go ahead and learn Canva. Try to make a poster for yourself. Try to make a digital visiting card for yourself. Try to make it more colorful. See how can you add new fonts, new colors. This is the way you must enhance your digital skill as well. Gone are the days when you would be having rudimentary project presentation all the time and then doing the same thing week on week, every week. Try to learn, try to master social media skills. Try to manage and then help uh, follow the right people, have the right knowledge, get information about the right event, and then participate into it. To sum up my talk, I would give you one keyword which is follow agility, and agility means A for adaptability, be adaptive. G for growth mindset, have a growth mindset. I for inquisitiveness, develop inquisitiveness, be curious. L, leverage on your current experience and your current knowledge. You are not outdated until you accept to be outdated. Be innovative. Try to have an edge on your peers by being innovative, being proactive, transformative. Try to transform the environment around you in the interest of the business, in the interest of profit, in the interest of your career, in the interest of your team. Why? Last but not least, focus on why. Start with why. And that is where I earn my today's talk. So I firmly believe that early adopters always win. If you are adopting at least 10% of whatever I said, so then you will be able to survive next 5 years. Let us connect, collaborate, and coexist. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on Twitter. You can reach out to chapter office to get my phone number. And I conclude my today's talk, and we can straight away jump on to Q&A. I'm just stopping the share of my presentation so that we can see each other face to face. Or maybe I guess no, it won't be possible in the current environment. However, I would request Chintan to start the Q&A by sharing.
Yeah, I'll read out from the Q&A, but I would request Chintan to switch on your video so
Sure.
that we are able to see you.
Isn't it on?
No, it was not on.
Oh, because in the first half, I guess before the popcorn, digital popcorn, it was on.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go ahead. Yeah, please.
I think I'm just seeing not many questions. Comments coming up. Heads off to
So
360
I guess
degrees and
then
also.
that's a really strange scenario. Whether all of us are very clear or all of us are very confused.
No. So let me just first of all read out some messages which have been coming off.
Yeah.
Someone is saying heads off to 360 degrees and also space and oceans. Chintan left no stone unturned. That I must add to this that yes, you have covered all aspects of job creation, right from agricultural sector to space. So science and all the aspects. So I am saying that well researched paper or seminar conducted. which is covering all the aspects of our life and all the basic things. Thanks for excellent presentation. Please, can you share your survey conducted info on? So it's okay. Someone has given his email ID. He wants you to share your survey, which we conducted at the beginning of the session.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Satish Bhatavadekar at gmail.com. Okay, we'll do that. Can we open
Okay,
voice?
let me put in my email so people
Yes.
can email me, and I would be happy to respond to their queries.
Okay, this question from Mr. Vinayak: with the amount of options of various technology, which technology to learn is little confusing. So it's not a question, but he is just making statement, I think so.
So I'll tell you, it is, yes, definitely it is indeed confusing for all the individuals. So how do you choose that technology? So this choice depends on your current qualification, what is your industry domain, what level of experience you have, and where you would wish to be. You are a civil engineer, and if you want to say that I want to be a, uh, uh, lab meat expert, then probably there are challenges, because for being a lab meat expert, or you need to be at least a biology graduate in any kind of biology or chemistry. So that is where when we establish a one-on-one conversation, then I will be able to understand your capability, your current position, your point A, and then what is the point B you would like to grow yourself to, or what is the point B where you would like to elevate yourself to. And based on that specific aspiration, information about that aspiration, I'll be able to help you choose a technology. Because lot many people aspire to say that project management both of you, but then there are other options where you can future proof your career.
Okay, I think there's more. Does this innovations in human augmentation for better human interface impact on the lifespan of human life? Just like we have seen extinction of many birds like sparrow, cuckoo, due to high radiation of 3G, 4G, and 5G.
Yeah, so definitely. So first thing is human augmentation is to enhance the capability of humans. Does not increase the life of humans, first thing. So that is another tech term. Other thing is, second part of the question is, just like we have seen extinction of many birds like sparrow, cuckoo due to high radiation. Yeah, definitely. So the thing is, please understand that these technologies are, uh, in a way, they are heavy radiating technologies. So I give you example in my own terminology and in my own style. चाय पीना भी हानिकारक है, लेकिन आप दिन की कितनी चाय पीते हो, that also needs to be understood. So yes, 3G, 4G, 5G, they are definitely not good for the environment. But then, how are we limiting the use of these technologies also needs to be seen. Because on one side, we are being cautious that, this may harm us and all. But at the same time, we go and complain our telecom operator stating मेरा bedroom में coverage नहीं आ रहा है. What he would do? He would invest more and then increase the radiation around you, so that at least you get coverage within your bedroom. So, yes. So there are ways that you should be try to use hands-free as much as possible. Try to get onto wired connection. Try to reduce your dependence on wireless technologies. Go for wired ones, and that is how we can actually mitigate such risk. So that's about it from my side. Next question, please.
No, not many questions coming up. Only a few comments are coming up. Right, mentorship. Nicely captured future of our jobs, Chintan Bhai. That's a message from Mr. Viren Parekh.
Thank you, Viren bhai.
I think that's about all. I don't see many questions coming up. So I think you've done a good job as a thought leader. It's making us to think on these lines. As a thought leader, you have made us think. In fact, I have started thinking, which is my next job now. Because I was limiting myself to AI and ML and whatnot. So only I was thinking of technology as my work alternative. But as you have put so many other opportunities or avenues which are coming up, it's made me think. And I think for the audience, I would share one thing that I don't know whether all of you have heard this or read this. Bill Gates is heavily into agriculture. He has bought thousands of acres of land and he is doing a lot of work in kind of agriculture. So, he has brought us to computer area. People have left agriculture and come into IT, and now he is going back to agriculture again. So those are the things which you have to start thinking that, where will be the next job opportunity in next 10 years. And also the picture of roses, that was also very new thing which I have seen. I have not heard about it, seen it. So a lot of avenues, lot of work opportunities coming up. So
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you so much.
I
I'm
think
grateful to you and all my friends at PMI Mumbai chapter for giving this opportunity to me to deliver this talk and share my views on the same. By the way, I deliver such talks to group of venture capitalists.
okay.
I'm regularly invited by people who invest into various technologies and who fund various companies. So that is where I try to guide them that what are the new technologies, how they are moving.
Okay, I think there are a couple of questions in the QA section.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Mr. Vinay Patil is asking, is there any certification on blockchain?
Yes, there are certification on blockchain. Give me an email and I'll try to share the list of options available.
Okay, and there's a future of jobs will be better with increase of purchase power of mass consumers for which GDP required to grow. What government to do for GDP to pitch up fast for ensuring future of jobs?
I'll tell you, GDP to me is a political what do you call parameter. It is not an industry parameter. So
Okay.
don't get into GDP calculation of GDP because the way they calculate GDP is they still calculate the price of dalda ghee into the calculation. And I'm sure that none of us in this audience is using dalda ghee right now. So,
Right.
so I, as a professional, do not get into GDP when it is business. When it is politics, let us discuss GDP. Yeah, definitely. But rise or fall of GDP does not impact me, my profitability, because my equation for profitability is a different one than the country. So, to me as an individual, GDP is purely a political parameter than an industry parameter.
Okay, there is another question from Mr. Vikas Bhatia. Does the domain knowledge, expert and experience will be redundant in future due to technology orientation and skills requirement?
Come again, please. Come again.
Does the domain knowledge, expert and experience will be redundant in future due to technology orientation and skills requirement?
No, it is the other way around. We as a project manager would be required to learn technology. If we don't avoid to learn technology and if we just become plain vanilla project managers, then our existence is at stake and we may be redundant because the subject matter expert can easily learn project management in 15 days time and start working as a project manager. The challenge on our side is bigger. So faster we learn, better we get the chances of surviving for a longer period. I hope I'm able to honestly, ruthlessly able to convey this.
Yeah, I think another question from Mr. Udham Singh is, what is the future of jobs for unskilled or semi-skilled workforce in India, which disrupted badly due to pandemic?
So none of the job is disrupted. Definitely people are starting coming back. First thing. Second thing, people who have gone to a certain place where they used to live in taluka places or district places which are upcoming business, they are able to survive there. It is job of an individual to help him survive. Gone are the days where government used to feed them and then give them subsidy and jobs and all. If you are not, you yourself are responsible for the upkeep of your skill. Gone are the days when government used to run schemes like मनरेगा की खड्डा खोद के 100 रुपए लेके जाओ. So अभी वो जमाना नहीं रहा. Definitely that socialist approach is also missing from the horizon. Good or bad, but then again, simple thing, काम करो पैसा लेके जाओ, काम तो करना ही पड़ेगा.
Okay, this question from Mr. Pramod Chaudhary. How can one find what are best things to shortlist for selecting a new skill?
Sorry, come again. I just lost.
How can one find what are best things to shortlist for selecting a new skill?
This is question by whom?
Mr. Pramod Chaudhary.
Pramodji, what is your base qualification? What is number of years of experience you have? Where are you working? And then where you want to go? These are the things I would like to assess, and based on that, I would like to advise you. But I cannot give anyone a thumb rule that okay, this is what it is, and this is the growth path. Because तो फिर वहाँ traffic jam हो जाएगा ना. I hope I'm able to answer your question, Pramodji. If I'm able to help you understand my viewpoint, then say yes.
Yes, he's saying thanks.
Okay.
I think that has addressed his question. Okay, so now there are no more questions I can see. So someone had also asked, how do we claim PDUs? So my question to Mr. Chintan is like this, that today we have seen 2-hour session. So normally we have these 3 categories: technical, strategy, and leadership. So where you say that this topic is assigning this into which category it will fall into if you have to assign 2 PDUs?
Technical 1 PDU.
Okay.
And 1 PDU for leadership.
Okay. Thanks.
Or
Thanks
if it
a
is
lot.
possible, then he award half each for strategy and half each for leadership, if it permits.
Yeah. Yeah, it permits. 2.25 we can have. So half also we can do. Okay, so strategy is half and
leadership is half and technical is 1.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot. So for the audience or people those who are attending, we'll be sending an email for this.
Sorry, Ketan, sorry.
Yes,
Make
yes.
leadership 1 and then technical half.
Okay.
The other way around.
Fine.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry for this.
So leadership
half
is
for
1.
Leadership is 1. Strategy is half and technical is half.
Okay, fine. Thanks. And so for the audience, we'll be sending email for claiming these PDUs where this bifurcation will be given, and you can use that for claiming your PDUs. And no need of giving your email ID here. We'll be picking up data from your attendance sheet. That's what whoever is attended will be picking up data from that. Okay, now without taking more time, I'll invite our president, Mr. Bharat Bhagat, to give vote of thanks and also presenting certificate to Mr. Chintan Oza. And while Mr. Bharat is giving vote of thanks, I'll open certificate which we can show it to the audience also. Yes, Mr. Bharat Bhai, over to you for vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ketan Bhai. Chintan Bhai, as usual, you are par excellence. We are proud to have you on this session in this year now. we are proud that you are one of the first 50 thought leaders of the world. And then we have an opportunity to hear you on your visionary subject. What is the job ahead? Now, let me tell you one thing. Anyway, I mean, yours is a something beyond which it's very difficult to assimilate a lot of times and then remember and all things. But in a summary, let me tell you, inform one thing. I was invited by Lokmanya Tilak University at Pune during their some symposium with industries and educationalists also and local authorities for this thing. I was invited by South Gujarat University also for the same subject. Our education is ready for industry? That was a question. Is our education? See, these people are getting MBAs, these people are getting MAs, BA, these people are becoming engineers, but is the education ready for tomorrow's industry or today's industry? That was a big question. And then they find a lot of syllabus is also getting outdated. A lot of teachers who have passed in their old syllabus is also getting outdated. So new teachers are required with the new knowledge is required and new norms are required. Now, there are several points that I would have covered here, but at this stage, let me tell you one thing. Education is not just enough. Continuous new learning, continuous learning, ever learning with positive thinking is must because time is going to change and time is changing continuously. Had I been continued with the last COBOL in the 1980s and 90s, I would have never be in a software industry till 2010 or 15. See, I have continuously changed from technology to technology. And likewise, people have to be ready what the Chintan Bhai has suggested and guided us that you have to keep use ad hoc learning is not the subject matter of your progress. You have to keep learning day in, day out. You have to keep your visionary open. You have to be positive and you have to see what fits you with your temperament, with your background that Chintan Bhai has mentioned. And that is what I will not elaborate much here. At this stage, let me thank you all on behalf of audience, on behalf of Mumbai chapter Chintan Bhai. Please accept our as a token of appreciation, a small certificate for your reference and record, and for our record also. Please accept it. It will be posted to you in a soft copy wise. Please, namaskar, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bharat Bhai, for that vote of thanks. And thank you everyone for attending this on Sunday morning. And now we'll be meeting in month of April. Next week we'll not be having any seminar. So in the month of April only we'll be meeting.
Let me, Ketan Bhai,
yes,
add a closing remarks. With this PM forum, this is going to be my last PM forum as a presidential role, and I'll be an ordinary member of the chapter with you. And from April onwards, you are going to have a new president. Anyway, Mr. Ketan Bhai is continuing in his role as a volunteer development and professional development vice president. So you will have a continuous, no discontinuity, and then he is going to provide you continuous new speakers, new intelligent speakers, new knowledgeable speakers, and I request all of you to continue with the chapter for this PM forum and see that you gain the knowledge and you get the understanding also. And let me thank you for bearing me for all this last. I have been a president for last 4 years and I have been in the board member for last 8 years. And being a founder member in 2000, I was in a board member earlier for about 8 years with handling different portfolios. And then from basic starting in 2000, we were only 47 when we went to the registrar societies for registration of our chapter. We were having only 47 members, and today we crossed 1704 at one stage. And unfortunately, over a period of time, due to several reasons, membership have reduced fine. But then I will believe it will come up again, and then people will join us, and then we will get a new volunteers as well, and then you all will contribute to the chapters value-added services like PM forums and chapter exchange program that we are going to have again on this 25th evening. that Ms. Priya Patra has already announced it today. So please do join those events also regularly, and please do join our national annual event also, like PM Conclave. Maybe can be online, maybe in face to face. I think our Mr. Jacobai is so enthusiastic. He will see that something can be done face to face. A lot of things will come, and I will wish to thank you all at this stage. I don't want to take much time. Everybody is impatient to get out for the lunch. So thank you very much once again for all these years. And with my 20 years of volunteering, I cannot forget you all with varying supports and varying those. There are members here who have been with chapter for last 14, 15 years also here, whom I know personally. And I wish all of you continue to contribute to the chapter's growth and sharing of the knowledge also. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Bharat Bhai. And we'll keep on bothering you because we require your guidance, and with your guidance, we have reached to this level of 1,700 members, which you mentioned. Okay, and last thing which I would like to announce is thanks again for Mr. Girish, who has been assisting me for conducting this webinar, who is instrumental in coordinating with the speaker as well as with our back office staff. And also our back office staff, Mr. Sunil, who helps us with putting up this webinar, sending out messages, mailers to all our members, and also PDU mailer will be sent by him. So without their help, we cannot conduct these seminars, and this will not be possible. So thanks to Sunil, Mr. Chirag, Mr. Girish Jogi for his contribution, and thanks again for Mr. Chintan Oza for spending his time and for this wonderful session.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.